Hi. Yeah, my name is Jason Kreider. I've been thinking about doing these YouTube videos for quite a while now. Recently I've retired, and I had been meaning to get a eBay store going, and it was supposed to be up and running, but life got in the way. And anyway, I've been caring for my mom at home, and needless to say, many other things kind of got in the way, slowed me down from getting this eBay store where it needs to be. But moving forward, now my wife came home here recently, said she just rented a spot at an antique mall. Hope she wasn't mad. She goes, "I hope you're not mad." And I said, I just listened to her, and of course I wasn't mad at her. And anyway, we now have a spot that we are just trying to fill up. Filling it up's not the problem. Getting it ready, getting the actual spot ready prior to putting stuff in it was the issue. Putting the framework of the little booth up to hang stuff on and all that, to get to stack your stuff on and all that is taking us a little while. Anyway, so I'm pulling into the antique mall flea market right now, and I had been I talk with folks on the YouTube. I've learned a lot off of YouTube from multiple people. I think the first person I ever started watching was CJ. I can't think of his real name, but CJR. When I first started doing getting into the reselling stuff, just to kind of get my feet wet, I started with video games. So I was watching CJR's videos, and I know he's up in Canada, and it's amazing to watch him go out there, and just the number of garage sales that he hits is incredible in a day, and the number of video games and consoles that he finds, and his collection of video games is absolutely incredible. But anyway, I love watching him do what he does, and that kind of got me turned on to the YouTube scene, because I'm an older guy, obviously, and but just watching the YouTube stuff, and then I got turned on to the Golden Finger Picker, Chad, and Ronnie, Hearts Pickers, and then Pete. I found Pete, and Pete's incredible. I think Pete is, and I'm taking nothing away from anybody else, but Pete blew my mind when I caught on to him. I thought, when I first saw one of his videos, I was kind of like, who's this guy? And then he just kind of just completely blew my mind. I think I've learned more from Pete, just content-wise, just and his videos are so good, I think, and his character, just I don't know, he's quite amazing, I think. But I mean, I've learned something from everyone. And then shoot, there's so many people. Well, Lonnie came along. Lonnie's a great guy. Lonnie's rather, I've learned a lot from Lonnie. Talked to Lonnie, through Instant Messenger. I've talked to Chad through Instant Messenger a few times, but not a lot. But and then John. Anyway, I watch all those. I've watched a ton of YouTube for the past couple of years, and I've learned a lot from everybody out there. on the reselling things, and I've built up a not death piles, but a death. I don't even have a word for it, but anyway, I have a ton of stuff to sell, and now I need the platforms to do it with. Well, eBay, and now this little antique mall that I'm getting ready to walk into, and it's just a small little 6x7 space, and we're gonna get our feet wet with that. So I thought I would start making videos, and maybe take you along on this small journey that, well, hopefully it's a big journey that we're going to take. I think I've learned a lot. I know I've learned a lot. I have bought stuff over the past couple of years to prepare for my retirement so that I could do this. I think I've now can see some of the bad buys I have. I think I can purge some of the things that I have. So yeah, I've got a lot of organizing to do. So you'll see over time, maybe when I take you on some of my videos, some of the bad buys I've made. I've made some really good buys. I've made some poor buys just in the process of learning the business. And I've just never really had time to. I kind of approached it a little differently. I bought a lot throughout the past couple of years, and then never really listed that much yet, which is probably not the best way to go about it. But I mean, that's the way I did it. So, live and learn. I probably don't need to buy anything, but buying is the fun part, of course, and I think everybody would agree with that. The buying is fun, but I was preparing, like I said, for retirement, and now it's time to sell. So I've arrived at the time to sell, and I'm very excited about it. I'm really excited to have this little spot in this antique mall. I left somebody off. But Bonafide Hustler, Chris the Bonafide Hustler, he's one of the folks I know he always takes you into his antique mall, where he's got a booth in there. And I think he's pretty successful with that, because he's had it for, I think, a couple of years at least. And he sells the stuff he doesn't want to ship, and he does, I think, pretty well in there. So, at least the way he talks, he does. So, I would love to have some feedback on how people that do have a spot in an antique mall or a flea market, what they put out there, what they put in there, and good things to sell there, because I've got my bigger items in here, things I don't really want to ship, but I'm going to put some things that I could ship, maybe some cheaper video games. But I've even from talking to the guy in here that runs it, he said that those can get stolen unless you have a case. But I'm not going to put any high-end video games in here, and until I do get a case, then I'd consider it. But I'd just as soon sell those online or on eBay. Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, or I'm sure I'm going to make a ton of mistakes on my YouTube videos if I even am brave enough to put this out there. So I will take you inside here and show you the beginnings of our booth.